Hello and welcome to this Italian tutorial. You know who it is, it's Claudio, and today I'm gonna give you a treat. Common words and phrases in Italian, but we're not gonna cover things like ciao, salve, and all the different ways to say hi and goodbye, because we had a video on that, and I don't think that's as interesting as learning a few very useful words that are really common and you can use in order to make your own sentences and speak in Italian. So this is a perfect video if you're learning Italian and you're just starting out and you are eager to practice. Okay, so let's start by telling you what the most common word in the whole entire language by far is. And the word is thing. Give me a thing, I'll tell you a thing. Oh, I have a thing. Oh, I have to, I'm thinking of something. Oh, no, nothing. Oh, the thing. That thing. Also, it so happens that in Italian you use the word thing even more than you would in English. For instance, when you ask the question, what? And you use the interrogative adverb what in English, which is this one. Well, basically in Italian you use the same word. So thing and what are actually the same word in Italian. So imagine how popular this word is. It's by far the most abused word in the Italian language. Okay, the word is cosa. It's also very easy to pronounce, isn't it? Cosa. K like in cool and z like in zoo. Cosa. Cosa. And if you want to make it a question, cosa, you just change the intonation, and in the spelling you would add a question mark. And basically it's very useful if you're a foreigner visiting Italy. It can turn out useful when you don't understand what a native speaker is saying. You can say cosa, and of course it's not the most polite way of asking somebody to repeat, but it works. So this is the first word that you have to learn. And if you're planning on learning just one word in Italian, this has to be it. Okay, let's move on. Now this is basically a sentence that you can personalize. Now I'll show you what I mean. Now these words are very useful. This and that. Questo, quello. Questo, quello. Questo means this and quello means that. So they are very useful words, very powerful. They allow you to do a lot, especially if you're in a shop and you really, in real life situations, you really want to, pick something or make the person in front of you understand what you mean and what you want. Okay, and is a very useful word to know. I know it's just a letter, but it's also a word, and it means is. If you don't know, or if you want to understand more about this, go back to the first video and watch that, because that's where I explain it. Okay, so this is, or that is. Questo è, quello è. Hopefully by the end of the video you will be able to make your own sentences, because this is the actual purpose of this video. Okay, bello. Bello means nice, good looking. And if you want the feminine version of it, you just substitute the O with an A. So bella, bella, instead of bello. Questo è bello. It means this is nice. Now you can actually speak Italian and say this is nice. Brutto means not nice looking, not good looking, bad. Brutto. It's difficult to pronounce because of the R sound, so if you can't trill your tongue, this is tricky, but try and practice trilling your tongue. And trilling your tongue is something very advanced, so we will have a look at that and do the best job you can, and everything should be fine. So you can say questo è bello, quello è brutto. So this is good, the other one isn't. So talking about shops and, restaurants, open, closed, aperto, chiuso, aperto, chiuso. Of course, to pronounce all Italian words, you need to know how to pronounce the Italian vowels. So go back and watch that video if you're struggling. If you're not struggling, that's good. Okay, two very useful words are mine and yours. Now, in English, you use the word my and mine when you need an adjective or a pronoun respectively. Your or yours, for instance, your bag is yours. In Italian, there's no difference between my and mine or your and yours. Basically, in Italian, there's only one word, mio. So you can say, questo è mio. That means this is mine. Or you can say, mia mamma. This means my mother. Okay, so my and mine are just one single word, same as your and yours. Quello è tuo. That is yours. Okay, so these are all adjectives that are very useful that you can put just after the verb to be for the sentence to make sense. Now, adding one more level of complexity, we can basically add ma, which is but. Ma. So this is nice, but io sono triste. So, really sad. Io sono means I am, and triste means sad. So you could say, this is nice, but I'm sad. I know it doesn't make sense, but I'm just picking the most common words so that you can personalize these sentences and kind of do what you want with them. Io sono means I am. Tu sei means you are. Now, we will have a video specifically on the verb to be because it's such a useful verb. And it's probably the first verb that we will study. But for the purpose of this video, just stick with I and you. Okay? Io sono, I am. Tu sei, you are. You can also omit the subject in Italian. So in English you say I am. You can't just say am because that wouldn't make sense. People wouldn't understand what you mean. But in Italian, people would. People actually do omit the personal pronouns. So these are other adjectives that you may want to know. This means happy, contento, content, triste, sad, arrabbiato, very difficult to pronounce, and it's a very good word to practice your R. It means sad. It means angry. Arrabbiato, pissed off. Affamato. This means hungry. Stanco. This means tired. Qui, li. These are two adverbs. This means here, and the second one means there. So very useful. Questo è qui. This is here. Quello è lì. That's there. Okay? Tu sei lì. You are there. People don't use the pronoun, the personal pronoun. So, sei lì. This means you are there. Sei lì with a question mark. So, sei lì with a question mark would be a very common question. Are you there? Like, are you already there? I don't know. Also, I just noticed that there's a mistake in my notes, and this pisses me off. Io sono arrabbiato. I'm really angry. Lì should have an acute accent. What does it do? It just changes the sound from li to li. It's a more emphasized E. Okay, so correct it in your notebook if you're copying it out. Otherwise, print it and remember that this is wrong. This is another sentence. But this time we are requesting something. This was just a statement. This is going to be a request, and it's also going to be very useful for you. Scusi is what you want to say before asking anything in Italian. It makes everything more polite, and you appear to be kind, and it's all good. Scusi, like, excuse me. It's something nice to say, and you don't have to change it, you know? It just stays the way it is. Vorrei. This means I would like. I would like. Vorrei. Un, due, tre. Okay, so uno means one. Numero uno. So uno means one. Un is the contracted form of uno, and it's also an indefinite article. So it's more common than uno when it comes to say things like one coffee, a coffee. Un caffè. This means one coffee. Due caffè. Two coffees. Tre caffè. This means exactly 3 coffees. So, excuse me, I would like to have 2 coffees. This is exactly what this means. Scusi, vorrei 2 caffè. 3 caffè. Un caffè. You can't have more than 3, by the way. It's illegal. And this is another level of complexity added to this sentence. So this is the very useful stuff that you have to learn. And this is something for the enthusiasts that want to learn more. So per is another preposition, a little bit like here. It's a preposition and it means for. So I would like a coffee for me, for myself, for my son, for my wife, for my husband, for my daughter. So me means me. You wouldn't guess that, but mio figlio. This means my son. Mia moglie. My wife. Son is a regular masculine word. It ends in O. Therefore, we have the relative adjective ending in O as well. Moglie, wife, is feminine. However, it doesn't end in A. But even if it doesn't end in A, we said it's feminine. Therefore, its possessive adjective ends in A. Mio marito, this is husband. Marito, husband. My husband. And mia figlia. Now, daughter is feminine and it's regular. It ends in A. So you can just put an A there and have your right possessive adjective. Mia figlia. Okay guys, so I hope that with this video I've enabled you to speak a lot of Italian, even though you may not be rock solid on grammar just yet. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Things like views and likes are what gives me motivation for making more videos. So more likes, more videos. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Until then, practice, 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 and practice. Take care.